Disclaimer, I spoil various plot points of Final Fantasy VIII in this video, so if you don't want any spoilers, you might want to skip this one. Upon feeling the shift of weight on the mattress at 3 or 4 a.m., I could hear my wife ask the question, "What took you so long to come to bed?" I turned to her, bloodshot eyes looking into her soul. "Freaking Final Fantasy VIII," I said. At least, this is what I could remember now. I don't know if I said those words exactly. Welcome to the Smells Like series, where I entertain and explain why games are the way they are. Every game smells, or is in itself a feeling, an ambiance. What makes each game unique is the combination of its style, graphics, sound design, and gameplay. So let's get to it and take a big whiff of Final Fantasy VIII. Some background about my relationship with FF8 in the past is as so.
Oh boy, you all see the reindeer on their heads.
I have played Final Fantasy VII and most of Final Fantasy IX from the PS1's Best of Final Fantasy catalog. I love you Final Fantasy Tactics as well. But when it came to FF8, I just wasn't as interested in it for the longest time. I knew Squall was the main character and showed up in other games like Dissidia and Kingdom Hearts, and one of my best friends loved the game. But that was about it. I had interacted with the OG PS1 version before a while back, but didn't remember why I hadn't played further. Sitting on my couch after my kids and wife went to bed, I felt determined to beat Adele in my file of Final Fantasy VIII. Up to this point, I had fared well with all the bosses and enemies that had come my way. But this time, I was very surprised. This freaking boss was the hardest thing I had ever encountered in the game. I embodied the cliche definition of insanity.
Son, we're looking for the maniac.
Have you seen this man?
Oh, it's the maniac! Take him away! Take him away!
There were moments when I changed some strategies up, like using my highest level magic, attacking with my GFs, but healing Renoa after hitting both Adele and her. But no matter what I did, or how close I thought I was to beating Adele, I just couldn't do it. Fast forward 4 or so hours, it was now 3 or 4 in the morning. I went up to bed and was questioned by my wife about why I had taken so long to come to bed. After playing so many Final Fantasy games, I thought I knew what to expect when I played Final Fantasy VIII, and for the most part, those expectations were met. I controlled an interesting protagonist through a JRPG with nuances that Final Fantasy could only provide, like chocobos, moogles, and various other Final Fantasy game flavorings. The only difference in gameplay I was seeing was that my summons leveled up with me, which I thought was pretty cool, and that magic was obtained kind of like items, scattered everywhere in these little sparkly tornadoes. I also could attach magic to my characters to level up their stats, but I was dead wrong to think this is only what makes the game very different. There is so much more nuance to the system with GF summons than I thought. In the game, it's called the junction system, and the more I researched it, the more sunken my face became. I looked like one of those stunned anime characters with her mouth open, shown in complete dread. I had accidentally screwed myself over in terms of what my JRPG party was capable of. No amount of going back to previous saves could help me, and here's why. The way the leveling system works in Final Fantasy VIII is that the enemies level up with you, the character, not the summons. Simple enough. The problem is that this means if you are at a high enough level, bosses, like Adele, get so much HP added to their health that it becomes extremely difficult to beat them if you haven't equipped or developed your characters or GFs in a specific way. I found out by scouring the internet that the best way to play Final Fantasy VIII is to not level up your characters, but level up your summons or GFs and attach magic to your character's stats. One thing that Final Fantasy VIII doesn't tell you to do is not level up your character. This was the beginning of the end for me on my first playthrough, and I didn't even know it. If you keep your character level low, everything becomes immensely better. The harder to get GFs in the game can be more easily obtained, and you don't have to play 4 hours into the morning fighting a space witch fused to your girlfriend and lose over and over again. Sorry. I found a post on Reddit by a user named Galaxy40K entitled "A Primer on How to Correctly Play Final Fantasy VIII." You heard me right. I should have researched how to play the game before I even started. Anyone who has played the game knows as well that the explanation of the junction system in the game is confusing. That in itself wasn't a good sign. But I would like to repeat this point again. It doesn't tell you to not level up your characters. The more you remember that, the better off you'll be. So basically, what I should have done was not to fight in random battles like every other Final Fantasy game, but to level up my GFs while finding new ones and equipping powerful magic to my characters. Otherwise, you will be fine until some of the endgame bosses make it impossible to progress. Again, because your character levels are too high. It's strange to me that I get slapped on the wrist for leveling up my JRPG character in a mainline Final Fantasy game. As far as I know, no other Final Fantasy game has done this, which makes me understand why I was caught off guard so late in the game, literally. Also, I had completely avoided the Triple Triad card game, thinking it was a side quest only, but actually the cards you earn could be turned into powerful magic, so I should have actually played it. Oops, times 2. A note here, I've started a second playthrough of the game and have been playing Triple Triad, and like everyone has says, it's really fun. After discovering all this information at the near end of the game, trying to beat Adele, I was very much annoyed with Final Fantasy VIII. At this point, I just wanted to finish it and be done. I knew that no amount of leveling or grinding would help me, as my GFs were mostly maxed out, and even when I tried to recruit more from a previous save, their HP was so high and my party so wrongfully optimized that I couldn't even beat them. Now that I've ranted on what made me not like certain aspects of the game, I really want to talk about why I like the game too. So much so that I am playing it again, knowing how I should be playing it now. It's not all bad, for crying out loud. The characters are interesting and fun. Each of your party members are written well, like many Final Fantasy games. You got Squall, the quiet, tough protagonist who very much reminds me of Cloud. After talking about Squall and Cloud's personality similarities with a friend, my friend commented that Cloud is like that because of a mental illness, while Squall is, well, like that for no obvious reason. Your party consists of Quintus, Squall's teacher who has a crush on him. That's not creepy at all. Selphie, a bubbly girl with childlike interest in the world. Zell, the dumb bruiser who thinks he's all that. And Irvine, a sharpshooter that is actually scared to shoot sometimes. And then there's your rival team with their own quirks, like speaking only 2 words, or saying, you know, after every sentence. Then there's your dream friends, led by Laguna with his killer battle theme. They are all charming. I like the semi-industrialized world, with train tracks you can see, with the trains on them moving about the world. There's only one continent that is super futuristic. The rest feels more like the 1990s. And also the military academies or gardens can fly and move. Final Fantasy needs its airship equivalent after all. I like the strange military academies that act as part high school and army depot that the characters live in. I like the summons acting like real characters and becoming allies after challenges with them. They actually talk to you as if they are gods assisting mortals. I like the charming animations all the characters have. I feel like this is part of that Final Fantasy charm I was mentioning before. The way their idle animations look and the sounds and effects that occur when they strike, it's like stepping on a nice crunchy pine cone. The music is rock solid, and I love listening to the soundtrack. Something about these PS1 Final Fantasies is that every one of them has music that is just so fun to listen to. The themes of the towns, battles, and characters just make you feel like you're actually there. Music invokes certain emotions that the composer wants you to feel. I couldn't imagine feeling the same way without the amazing music. As for the story, it starts off understandable. We got a crew of young adults clawing the ranks of a military academy by taking assignments given to them by their school. The assignments are more like orders as mercenaries to aid and help other organizations. The school gets paid, the crew gets experience, and everyone is happy. Intrigue between different cities and organizations comes to a head when a sorceress appears, trying to basically take over all of them. An assassination attempt to kill the sorceress is planned out, and you are the crew assigned to this task. You fail, and she carries out her will in the various military academies called gardens. Like by literally shooting missiles at them. Classic sorceress. Eventually, you travel into the future to beat her and stop her meddling with the past, or rather the present for you. Oh yeah, there is also this lady who can send you into the past through her or other people's memories. These story beats have some really cool ideas, but I feel like there isn't a lot of explanation for these powers, plot points, and so on to make me understand them fully. The story suffers a bit because of it. And can I just say that what was the point of that lady sending us into Laguna's past memories with his crew, just to understand that he became the leader of a high-tech civilization? I feel like there wasn't much of a payoff for this. Like, we get to know the origins of some characters, sure, but going through all these missions amounts to mostly nothing. If the lady, named Aloni, sent us 1 or 2 times just so we recognize him at the end of the game, that would have been better. But all the character development for Laguna and his crew, in my mind, didn't really pay off. There is mention of the memory sending lady, I think, trying to change the past, but it doesn't explain what she was trying to change and for what reason very well. So in conclusion, Final Fantasy VIII, to me, smells like an overflowing bottle of men's hair gel mixed with various women's makeup products. Then a Japanese school uniform inside of a barrel of gunpowder is placed inside the mixture. Or in other words, the game is strange, angsty JRPG with some questionable elements. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you on the next one.